Seniors, believe it or not, you leave me speechless. I know that's hard for some of you to believe when seemingly every day I have so much to say. But the fact is, when I think of you, when I think of this class, I come to the realization that mere words really are not deep enough to express exactly how I feel. And so if you will allow me just a few moments before we confer upon you your status as graduates, then I'll try to capture very briefly what this day means to me. And I say this day because I know that you look at this as your day. But this day today actually is as much of a celebration and a milestone for me and for all of those in attendance as it is for you. For me and for your teachers, it marks the end of a journey. For you, it marks the commencement of a new beginning. But I can't help but to think about and ponder the fact that for some of you, I've been on that journey with you for almost 7 years. Some of you I met for the first time as you walked into Central Middle School, bright-eyed and naive. The principal I am today was forged from some of those early experiences with individuals who sit in this very room. You taught me a couple of the things that come off just on the top of my head. I learned that it's all about how you ask the question, and maybe more importantly, which question you ask. My very first discipline issue I had to deal with dealt with a kid about this high. He was 12, but Thomas Olmsted looked about 8. I went up to Thomas and I said, Thomas, a couple of people have told me that you have a pocket knife and you've been showing a couple people that pocket knife. Is that true? And with all sincerity and innocence in his eyes, he said, no, Mr. Brown, that's not true. Okay, Thomas, well, go ahead and come with me. But as we're walking to the office, I just want to ask you, just out of curiosity, exactly how many kids did you show that pocket knife to? 3? Thanks, Thomas. That's what I needed to know. I appreciate it. I learned that not every mystery will be solved. Prescovie, I'm still looking for those tennis shoes from the 7th grade. The ones that were stolen from you. I go to the mall to this very day and I'm looking down at individuals' feet trying to find those tennis shoes. It's been 6 years and I've still not solved that mystery. I've learned that as hard as I try, I may not learn everyone's name, especially in this class. There's multiple sets of twins. Now, Alyssa, Austin, I can separate you two. I'm okay there. Nadia and Nydia, I have a hard time. Brittany and Courtney, I'll just be honest. For 7 years, I've just called each of you Miss Ballinger because I figured I could not go wrong that way. I only say Brittany and Courtney when both of you are together. Unfortunately, I learned some difficult lessons too, but some that have stayed with me. I learned that as an administrator, I may not have all the answers every single time. Brandon, when your dad passed away, I was speechless and I felt helpless. The only thing I could do was give you a hug. And that's a lesson that stuck with me. A lesson that unfortunately I've had to repeat and utilize numerous times with this class. Those of you that I didn't get to know at Central, I got to know very well when I became principal at Santa Fe High School several years ago. I got to know the Malcolms and the Jimmys and the Andrews. I got to know the Esthers. I got to know the Joshuas. I got to know all of you. We've been through some things together. I've sat beside you in emergency rooms as we waited for news on the health of either a classmate or a sibling. I stood beside you in courtrooms as you had to face adult-like consequences for child-like decisions. And I've stood side by side with you at more than one funeral. For some of you, 4 in the last 2 years. And honestly, even to this day, I'm not sure whether you were leaning on my strength and support or whether I was leaning on you. So I realize that this speech, when the principal speaks to the class, I'm supposed to provide these pearls of wisdom and these nuggets of knowledge and quotes and things to live by from here on out. But when I think of you as a class and when I think of you individually, I think of the lessons that you taught me. And I hope and I pray that I've left some mark on your life, because God knows you've left a mark on mine. So I stand here today utterly humbled by you. I stand here in awe of you. Let's be honest. No one would fault you or blame you if you walked around with a dark cloud over your head and you blame the world for problems and things that you've had to endure. You've had to endure more agony, grief, and sorrow than the average teenager should ever have to deal with. You've had to grow up way, way too fast. But you didn't wallow in darkness and dreariness. You didn't wallow in despair. Instead, this class exercised and demonstrated unimaginable strength and pride and faith and resiliency. And you've let your light shine. You've become a beacon to not only the adults in our community, to the students at our sister schools, and into the entire state of Oklahoma. You said proudly and boldly that this is how you do this. This is what strength looks like. This is what resiliency looks like. This is what faith looks like. So yes, I am humbled by you. And so, instead of giving you those pearls of wisdom, instead of giving you that quote and this last few words to live by, the only thing I can really share with you is to say there are 3 things that you have, as I look back on it, 3 qualities that you've exhibited each and every time. 3 qualities that I'm just going to simply ask that you hold on to, that you hold firm to. 3 qualities that you have reaffirmed in me as an adult. Those qualities being faith, hope, and love. See, I have watched this class. I have seen with my own eyes. I have been reassured and reaffirmed by individuals in this class that the promise that all things are possible through faith is indeed a true promise. All things. Now notice, the promise never said that they were going to be easy, just possible. Hold firm to that faith. I have seen exhibited and demonstrated by individuals in this class and this class as a whole the virtue of hope. The idea that when you are down and it seems dark and it seems like you can't get up, it is hope that whispers in your ear, try one more time. Get up one more time. Hold fast to that. And finally, as we are taught the greatest of these, love. You have been, as individuals and as a class, absolute soldiers for love. I would ask and I would plead with you to continue to fight that good fight. Because see, there are people in the world that they'd rather hate, they'd rather blame, and they'd rather condemn. So go out, let your light shine. Continue to be soldiers for doing what's right for no other reason than it's the right thing to do. So it is this day that we give you your inheritance. this day that we give you what you so richly deserve and what you have earned. It is this day that we give to you the future, yours and ours. And we do so proudly. We do so with confidence because we have faith in you. In you rest our hopes and our dreams for a better tomorrow. And most importantly, we love you. So, senior class of 2010, God bless you and God keep each and every one of you.